Hey everybody, it's Carol Billing. I am your Education 201 online teacher. I wanted to make a quick video today and just go through your expectations list. I think this assignment's really helpful because it helps me know what you're expecting from the class and also helps me communicate back if there's any areas that you're hoping to learn about that I can't accommodate. I certainly will try, and I'm not opposed to changing things up a bit, but there are 15 chapters in the book, so we cover 15 areas of teaching in 15 weeks, so there's not a lot of wiggle room. It's what's called a survey course, meaning that you get little bits of all the areas of the subject, and so that's why we touch on all the aspects of teaching, but we don't go super deeply into any one area. A lot of times students feel like they're going to get more strategies for classroom management, and this is not a classroom management class. Well, I'll give you some. We have a chapter on that. But to be honest, you're going to get that more in your 202s and anytime you are watching a good teacher. That's where you're going to learn all the strategies. We basically steal from each other. We call it borrowing in education. That's the way I learned, was on my prep periods. I would go watch other instructors, good instructors in our school, and then I would borrow from them, both in curriculum and classroom management strategies. So there you go, first tip of wisdom there. All right, let's look at your expectations list. I highlighted just a few things that caught my eye as I was reading it. So more confidence in wanting to be a teacher, that's absolutely what this class is about, and that's why it's paired with the 202, which is your 30 hours of observation. By the time you're done with the semester, I think you should know pretty clearly if this is a yes or a no. That's been my experience. And every semester I usually get at least 2 kids that come up to me and tell me, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, I don't want to be a teacher. And I think that's great. I would so much rather you figure that out now than later. So I think that's great. That's what this class is about. Making the best choice for the future, absolutely. Fundamentals, shadowing and observing teachers. I just want to emphasize that is 202, not 201. So 201 is the textbook, it's the theory, it's the 15 subjects that we quickly go, not quickly, but you only have a week to go through them, where the shadowing and observing is really happening in your 202 class. Okay, so also make sure that you're checking into 202. Although it's a 1 credit, especially if you're in the online one, you don't have to go in there a lot, but you do need to go in there and turn in the work that's due. Philosophical aspects of teaching, that's a chapter. I want to say 8, but I could have that number wrong. And we're also going to cover the ethics of teaching. I highlighted this comment right here from Kimberly on commit to a lifetime of educating children, because you might not do that. It's really common in teaching to change what you do. There's all those teachers, there's always those teachers that teach in the same class for 20 years, and God bless them, but I couldn't do it, no way. So my best friend also is a teacher, and she did middle school math, she did 6th grade, then she went up to high school, excuse me, and taught developmental math, and then she started teaching some of the culinary classes through ROP, which is like kind of professional technical kind of stuff. And this year she is teaching all cooking and no math. So yes, always educating children, but there's a lot of room to move within that. And then when I went to the EdTech conference called ISTE, I-S-T-E, you should Google it, check it out. It's a huge conference about technology in the classroom. And so there were all these people that worked in the private sector that used to work in classrooms. So there's a lot more that you can do with teaching besides just teaching students. And the best educators also make excellent communicators, so you can often transition into like a communications job for a corporation or a public entity, and also any kind of corporate training, any kind of online training. I mean, it's the skill set you learn from being a teacher is more dynamic than you realize, and it can be applied in lots of areas, both in public and private sector outside of teaching. So there's a mini lecture on that. That we actually cover that in a later chapter. I want to say it's like 13 or 14. Oh, I just lost the lights in my office. It happens when I say still too long. Theoretical and practical, I try to mix those in. The practical is going to come from my lectures on carolbilling.weebly.com, and then theoretical from the textbook primarily. We talk about politics and education in the Reform chapter. I want to say that's chapter 9, but could be wrong. I think it's pretty close. Learned about myself, writing autobiography. That's exactly why we do that. Subbing in school district, that's awesome. I love that you do that. Subbing is not anywhere near as fun as teaching, because unless the kids know you and you like sub at the school all the time, then I think you get kind of close to being what it's like to be a real teacher. But when you take students and you watch them grow through a whole year, that's a tremendous intrinsic motivator and value that I don't think you get when you sub. But subbing is definitely a great experience. I would highly recommend it for seeing if teaching is being around kids is what you want to do. I just think subbing is not anywhere near. Observations are really better because subs get put through the ringer well. Observation, people don't. You're actually treated very nicely being in the classroom. Sarah, I love this. I expect a lot out of class. Me too. And I expect a lot out of you guys. Oh, scary, I know. Basics on how to be a teacher. Yes, 15 areas. Shelby, I'm excited too. Oh, that's Shelby from my class. Hi, Shelby. Okay, Angie, highs and lows for sure. I try to talk about those in my lectures primarily. World of education. I'm going to try to cover that, especially that chapter where we talk about other things besides being a teacher. And then confidence. I do think this class gives you confidence in your choices about your career. All right, I want to take a second to look at something called To Doodle. And so those of you in my face-to-face, sorry, just bear with me for 2 seconds. I'm going to show them this real quick. So I showed this to my 201 traditional class today in class. This is a way of tracking what you need to do, and it's very useful. It gives me a huge peace of mind because I use the app on my phone, and so when someone asks me to do something, I immediately type it in here using my phone, and I don't have to guess that I'm going to remember it. I give it a due date, and then you can see there's some things in here that are quite old, but I just haven't done them yet. And you can go through here, and then you can, you know, like spay the cats. We've got a stray cat problem. There we go. But you check this box when you're done with the task, and then it goes away. You can have reoccurring tasks. So I have things like cleaning, and if I book the same speaker every semester, I have that in here. So it just reminds me to go do those kind of repetitive things. I don't have to worry about forgetting it because it's always in my to-doodle. So I love to-doodle. Every morning I wake up, roll over, go through my to-doodle list of things I need to do that day. If it's something I can push off to the next day, generally I will do that. So I'm really focusing on getting things done that need to be done that day, not missing anything, and prioritizing my time better. The last thing I'm going to show you is lists. So I love this. This is my packing list. I travel for work twice a year. I don't ever have to guess what to put in my bag because it's all right here. See, sweats for flight. Super important. Wine opener, also important. I'm joking, but anyway, yeah, someone in class today was like, pack pills. I have claustrophobia, so I have to be medicated to get on the plane. So anyway, that's really critical because if I forget that and I get to the airport, I am super, like, can't get on the plane. So anyway, there you go. Packing list. I have the packing list for my kids. I should really show you this one instead so you don't see all that other stuff. But every time I travel with the kids, I don't have to guess about what to pack because it's already in here. So this is how I use this. This is not necessarily a tool for teaching, but I do think it's a productivity tool. In my tasks, you'll see I have things that have everything to do with work and home and everything. I like everything in one place. Okay, here's the Weebly. I wanted to also make sure that you were getting here because this is like the equivalent of going to class. And down here at the bottom, you go through all the chapters, then here's your ABE, so details on the ABE, and then details on your teaching demonstration. Those two tabs are here. You don't have to worry about this one because this is for face-to-face and hybrid versions of 201. So you're just this tab and this tab, and then everything above that is chapters. Lastly, don't forget extra credit is here. So going to the tutoring center workshops. You have the ambassadors program. If you have questions about that, let me know and I'll tell you about it. Of course, there's links here to look through everything. Visit your professor for extra credit. So if you go to a professor, you can either take a selfie or have them email me that you came by to visit them, or if you Zoom with them or Skype with them or something, they just need to tell me and I'll give you 10 points extra credit. You need to tell me what class you want it in, 201 or 202, or if you're in another class with me. I think that's it for now. That's 10 minutes, so I like to try to keep this video short. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Keep working. I'm looking forward to some awesome stuff. I'll see you soon.